number 1. Mike Duggan and Michael Stewart off of row number 2. Mike Vanderkraan and Michael Dumbrell, 15 and 16.
Racing machine. Scott McCune and Anthony Visma, row number 17. Then
don't have the memory of a goldfish is my biggest piece of advice. Right, lights are going to come on. We are going to go straight into racing for 41 laps here around Motorsport Park, Ockersleben. Who's going to get the jump? It's a long run down to turn number 1. You get the inside for turn number 2, and McNamara did not get a great launch. It's going to be Duggan who immediately jumps away. Gambles off into the lead. Michael Quain as well. McNamara's got his hands full trying to cover it off. He'll be on the inside for turn number 1. That turns into the outside of turn number 2, and it's down the inside for Quain. He'll slot in. Just about everyone else has got through. There's more.
10's quicker than Scott Gamble in the 543 machine. As we see John Latham, big moment at turn 1 in the 24 machine. Comes back on track, a little bit of a bad redress there into the 919 machine, and that could be a penalty incoming. Michael Stewart in the Hypersonic Racing machine started 4th and unfortunately gets caught up and into no fault of his own there. Strong so far.
Somebody diving in a pit lane. That's not Crydale. That's another driver that's just diving in a pit lane. So Scott McCune from 32nd. Started out in 33rd. That's an early pit stop. We're still 5 laps away from that pit window opening based upon our fuel numbers. So that is a damage-based pit stop. And Halil Cesar is also in the pit lane. 27. My word, 25 laps left to go. I was looking at the numbers then and went, hang on, that's all right. Yeah, 25 laps left to go from this point in time. That's a long, long way, particularly when you've only gotten to lap 16. You've really got to hang on to these tyres now for the rest of that race. And the fuel load is up to a maximum 80 litres. So 88 litres, I think, is the maximum fuel load. 70 was initially in the car. So it's more fuel load on the car, more racing to really be done.
Yeah, certainly it will upset the balance quite a bit, actually, compared to what they were before with lighter fuel and worn tyres. Now you're on new tyres with more fuel load, so it's certainly going to be a challenge for the first few laps for these drivers, and like I said, we'll be seeing probably guys pitting very, very shortly, and there's still a lot of battle packs around as we see. Michael Stewart, someone has gone wide in the background. There looks like a lap car, unfortunately.
It was Chad Lewis who's actually off.
4th, Matt Vanderkraan, one of the earlier guys to pit in this battle pack. He's up to 5th. Michael Dumbrell as well, 6th. Nishka, Duggan, Stewart, and Michael Quain ran at the top 10. Very good job from all those guys. Anthony Visma started 34th. He's up to 12th. He's doing a great job. Scott McCune, 33rd to 15th.
And that will be a result that he will just be over the moon about. Michael Stewart, we saw that incident a little bit earlier on. Some sort of recovery drive from him. Just a little bit of hard luck. Wrong place, wrong time. Started P4. Well, back up to P9. And he's on the charge, still inside the top 10, and it's all that counts there for him. We'll keep an eye on his progress as it continues throughout the night. He pit on lap 23 as well. Michael Quain behind was one of the earlier pitters, pit on lap 18. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Visma pit on lap 13. We'll be struggling in terms of tyres. We'll have to keep our eyes on him. Whether or not he can also make it on fuel, he will be going backwards as the night progresses. Here as well for the 919 machine of Michael Stewart. Have a look at the man at work behind the wheel. Look at the forces that are being applied to that wheel. Look at how smooth, how slow you've got to open the steering wheel up, how slow you've got to position the car in. Wiggles, just to let the guys know ahead, hey, I'm here. And sometimes, Brady, a little bit of psychology can go a long way in these things.
Yeah, certainly. Try and play mind games as you wish with the guys in front, and he's got 2 cars in front. He's a little bit quicker the last one by, so it looks like he's got a little bit of pace to better in the Hypersonic Racing machine. Looks like he's running a little bit of VR there as well, obviously for the full immersion, but he's doing really well. Right on the back now of Mark Duggan, who was up the front earlier in the race before a small mistake, and this will battle pack 7th to 9th. Nishka, Duggan and Stewart's going to rage on for the remaining 12-13 laps we've got remaining.
I'll tell you what, Michael Stewart, brave man. He's got a water bottle just off to his right-hand side there. One worry I've always had and why I've never purchased VR, I drink. Yeah, I'd knock that thing over and I'd spill it all over expensive computer parts. We're not going to do that. Is Dumbrell going to spoil the party here for Matt Vanderkraan?
Yeah, so these guys, a little bit of a battle pack forming for position number 4, Cairns, Vanderkraan, Dumbrell, and 3 seconds back Nishka, if anything arises from this bunch. So these guys doing very good tight racing, and you got cars all over the back of you as we look over the 202 rear wing of Nishka. He's got Duggan right behind him, and Michael Stewart. These guys started up the front, position number 3 and 4. Fortunately, had a bit of misfortune happen to them in the race, and now they're behind Nishka and doing pretty similar lap speed at the moment late in the race. So we're on board with Michael Stewart on the 919 machine, and go back to his webcam. A lot of work getting through this tight chicane. Very, very hard. You can't run too wide there. Like I said before, you will get an off track quite easily, and these guys are limited to 20 incidents in this race. And remember, an off track is 1, so you can only have 20 off tracks in 40 laps, so that's not many to play with.
Yeah, but then again, if you're at the tail end of this one, you've got a few off tracks to play with. You can use a little bit of extra track that you normally wouldn't be able to. Look at the motion rig there on the right-hand side. He's really sailing it in there from Dumbrell. He's got the eyes on going forward. He's outside the top 5. He'd love to start season number 14 of the Kumo V8 Vets off with a top 5 performance. A little bit wide from the guys ahead at the apex. He'll tuck it back in. Now he's looking for the run-off. Is there going to be opportunity to present itself here for Dumbrell? Are Cairns and Van der Crane going to go head-to-head? Is that going to create an opportunity for the driver of the 055? Nitschke, Duggan Stewart, who's going to be the guy that sends it for those guys? Travis Hunt has managed to make his way past Michael Quain. Something's happened there. Visma's gotten on by as well. And Visma is starting to research, and the guys up ahead of this starting to go toe-to-toe. Dumbrell is going to sniff something in the air. Cairns is going to have to defend for all money. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 laps to go. And I'm a lot closer to him. So it's probably gone for Van der Crane to get to P number 4, but here comes Dumbrell with 1 more lap to go. Nitschke, Duggan and Stewart, your next little battle pack, 7, 8, 9. Travis Hunt in P number 10. He has got 0.8 of a second over Anthony Visma, who's going to finish P11 at this stage. So this one looks just about decided. Crane was very wide there at turn number 3. A little mistake starts to creep in when you've got less than 3.7 kilometres to the end of the race. They've probably only got about two and a bit kilometres left to run here. Who's going to pick up these spots? Who's coming home inside that top 10? I tell you what, it's starting to get close between Duggan and Nitschke as well, but they're running out of opportunities. Result, Dumbrell will have to miss out on the first top 5 of the season. Maybe they'll have to wait around. It's going to be Nitschke that does get it in over Duggan and Stewart. And Travis Hunt, what about that? Rounds out
Michael Dumbrell, Brendan Nitschke, Mark Duggan, Michael Stewart and Travis Hunt.
Lewis, John King, Scott McCune, Ty Burns,